Hi, Mike Kennedy. So who's St. Benedict? He lived about 1,500 years ago. He started a few monasteries. He did some miracles. We don't know a lot about his actual life, but we do know about his rule. He wrote this Rule of St. Benedict. That's what it's called now. And just to give you an idea, this is about 86 pages long, 73 chapters. In each chapter, some are longer than other ones, expresses something about living in a monastery. And so this became widely adopted and was used in all kinds of monasteries and convents and everything. And it provided a very good working framework where people could come together in the monastic life and pray and work, be of service to the community, and it created these monasteries that were centers of education, learning, libraries and different things like that. Travel, they did hospitality, so people could go, traveling could stop there. Saint Benedict himself was called on to teach, royal families, the children of royal families, the essence of what this is, so they could be better rulers. And Saint Benedict is called the father of Western civilization. I think part of that is because these monasteries, they retained information and ways of life that were lost in all the conflicts and migrations and, horrible things that happened in society. The monasteries remained untouched. So if someone was to, say there's some type of war and an area is devastated, chances are there was a monastery that would have, would be there that could re-educate people or whatever. So it was just a really, important thing in preserving Western culture. So, chapter 4, and I like this because some people say, oh, all you have to do is love. If you're Christian, all you have to do is love. And, well, that's true and it isn't, because the problem is we don't know what love is. We're fallen human beings. We're sinners. So it needs to be defined more than that. It has to be, because sometimes, under the guise of being kind is loving, supposedly, and to the point where it could involve murder, being nice to someone. that is not love. So I looked at these rules and I thought about social media, thought about Facebook, and saying, what if we were to take a post and run it through some of these rules? This is what are the instruments of good works? This is just one chapter. Okay, so the whole thing is a rule, but I'm saying here he's got, is it 72 or 73? Yeah, he's got 72, one sentence things here. And so we're going to look at a couple of them. I'll tell you the numbers and what they say. Number 7 is do not bear false witness. Now, how many times do people on social media publish something that's false, or something they've just passed on, some news item, they haven't really looked at it. Number 8 is to honor all men. That's not done a lot of times. Not to give way to anger is number 22. And my goodness, don't we see people getting so angry on Facebook and other social medias? It's bad. 26, not to forsake charity. Now, charity means love, but it also is a sense of that, let's say, you can give people more credit for something than you might want to personally, And that's something that we could use a lot of. To utter truth, and that was, 26. 28 is to utter truth from heart and mouth. And again, how often do we put a post in that, I don't know, we really don't know whether it's right or not a lot of times, or we're going on someone's whatever. And now, with the internet, you could be getting all your news and information from this tiny slice of civilization, of society, and not getting all these other sides. So, you got to be careful about that. 29, not to render evil for evil. And again, how many times do you see someone says something and someone says something horrible back, and then, and it just gets into this returning evil for evil. 32, not to render cursing for cursing, but rather blessing. And again, that falls in with that previous one. Oh, I went out of order a little bit. 31 is to love one's enemies. And again, how many people do you see something like saying, well, we have to pray for this guy, even though, he's an enemy to God and to us. We need to pray for the person. You don't see a lot of that. Number 40 is not a detractor. Boy, how many less posts would there be on Facebook if we weren't detractors? We've got 52. Keep one's mouth from evil and wicked words. And again, there's just a lot of that. And again, unfortunately, just like I was saying, that we don't know what love is, we also don't know what evil and wicked is. It's like the opposite. We kind of know that, but I would contend a lot of times we get those confused. So we're doing something that's wicked and evil, and we think it's love. And sometimes it goes the other way, but it's just, here's one. Not to love much speaking. YouTube would be dead if that was true. People ran through it. Or how many times maybe do you see posts that people can't scroll by? You put something up, and then people get really angry at you, and they're saying like, "Well, you could have scrolled by this, and you didn't have to comment." And it's kind of like, well, yeah, but you didn't have to comment either. So it's like just this thing that keeps going on and on. 64 is to hate no man, no person, right? And boy, this political season, my goodness, this is 2024, July, 2nd of July. There are a lot of people who hate big time. And the last one we're going to do is called not to love strife. In other words, sometimes people just enjoy arguing with people. That strife that's caused, and it's like, well, they want to win, they want to get in there, prove themselves to, people or something. But when it comes right down to it, they love argument. And now, so those are the ones, but a lot of them you could apply to. But I thought those were the ones that were most apt to the idea that you were going to put in on a Facebook post or a social media post or Twitter, Instagram, X, Instagram, Rumble. There's all kinds of them. And this doesn't say we still aren't going to do things important in what we post. And there are some things that that have to be said, I think. And but what if we said them with this in mind? I think there would be a lot less posts, And but I think it would be better. I mean, this issue came up again about. I was reading some article again about, particularly talking about girls and social media. Not happens with boys too, but this was more talking about girls and how so much isolation and twisted thoughts people get when they're spending so much time in social media when they're young, and it's just harmful for everyone, because it's like it's kind of the opposite of charity. A lot of times it's like, who can say the meanest thing about, just for an example, so and so is Hitler. They're just like Hitler. Hitler, he's like Hitler. She's like Hitler. And it's like, give me a break. When you say that, it's like you're spitting on the graves of 8 million Jews and millions of other things, like the handicapped, the mentally retarded, Catholic clergy, all these people Hitler, was instrumental in killing. And you're going to compare anyone in the U.S. to Hitler? You have a mental problem if you do that. I mean, obviously, I guess if you find some actual, Nazis who want to, exterminate all Jews and all that stuff, but calling anyone in our politics similar to Hitler means you don't know who Hitler was. You need to go study history in World War II. If you're comparing Trump, if you're comparing Biden, anyone you can come up with, Obama, Clinton, if you're comparing them to Hitler, you have no idea what you're talking about. And that's so common now. Well, oh yeah, look at this. He's the same as Hitler. No, he isn't. She isn't. Get a life, study, and maybe, save up your pennies and tour some of the concentration camps in Germany. Stay in one for 5 hours and come out afterwards and say that this person you said was like Hitler is really like Hitler. So there we go. The St. Benedict and a view on Facebook and social media.